What's up, guys? Welcome to the first round of the Season 36 CRJ official playoffs. After 8 full episodes, statistics, and a bunch of tie deciding jumps, we are finally here in the playoffs. So without further ado, let us begin. As you can see, there are 16 cars on screen and 8 pairs. Each of those pairs is what I call a series, which means they'll battle it out in a best of 7, which means whichever car reaches 4 wins first wins the series. So let's see which battle will go first. How will I decide this? By simply flipping a coin. Heads means we go to the Eastern Conference, which is these 4 pairs, and tails means we go to the Western Conference, which is those 4 pairs. It landed on tails, which means we're going to the Western Conference. We're going to do another flip, but this time the heads means we go to the Central Division, which is the top 2, and tails means we go to the bottom 2, which is the Pacific Division. It landed on heads, which means we go to the Central Division. And for our final flip, if it is heads, we will do the top pair. If it is tails, we will do the bottom pair. And it landed on tails, which means Red Fire 4 versus Oyster are up first. If we take a look at our statistics page, we can see Red Fire 4 was 2nd in the Central, and Oyster was 3rd in the Central. Overall, Red Fire 4 was 3rd, and Oyster was 6th. This means that Red Fire 4 will have the home jump advantage, simply meaning Red Fire 4 will go in the right lane, and Oyster will go in the left lane. As I said, this will be a best of 7 series, so let's get to the first ever official playoff series on this YouTube channel. Alright, let's get to the first game of many that we will have this video. Game 1, Red Fire 4 versus Oyster. Red Fire 4 takes a 1-0 lead. Game number 2, let's see it. Great jump from both, but it's going to be 2-0 for Red Fire 4. Oyster is now in the right lane, but let's see how they do. What a battle! They crash into each other a few times, but Oyster does come out on top. 2-1 for Red Fire 4. Game 4, let's go. Oyster ties it up 2-2 in this crazy series. Game number 5, this is a pretty big one. Let's go. Oyster has now won 3 in a row, and it's 3-2 for Oyster. If he can beat Red Fire 4 right here, Red Fire 4 will be the first car eliminated, and Oyster will be the first car to go to the second round. Good game, and it's over. Oyster wins 4-2. Congratulations to Oyster, who will be moving on to the second round. He will get to play either Reisler or BB3 in the next round. They've got to get selected by the coin first, though. Alright, let's move on to our next coin flip. It landed on heads this time, so we're going to the Eastern Conference. It landed on tails, so we're in the Metropolitan. And finally, tails. So that means our next battle is Batman versus AMG. 2 pretty solid seasons from both of them. AMG was 8th and Batman was 12th. But let's see who will win. Batman, solid jump for a 1-0 lead. Game number 2. AMG gets it 1-1. Game 3. We'll go to Batman with another great jump, 2-1 Batman. Game 4. And it is a 3-1 lead for Batman. Alright, here we go. Batman could take it here in just 5 games. And ladies and gentlemen, just like that, Batman wins it 4-1. Congratulations to Batman. Let's see where we're going next. It landed tails. So back over to the Western Conference. It's tails again. So we're in the Pacific. And with 3 tails in a row, Ranger 26 versus GMC Van. These two had pretty good seasons. Ranger was 5th, GMC was 10th. Let's see how they do. Game 1. Ranger takes a 1-0 lead. Game number 2. We'll go to GMC with that extra roll. That was kind of crazy. Game 3. 2-1 for Ranger. Game number 4. And we're all tied up at 2. Game 5 to break the tie and take a big lead. GMC will take it. It's 3-2 for him. Here we go, folks. GMC could win it here, or will Ranger clutch it up? Let's see it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is over, and Ranger loses 4-2. Congratulations to GMC Van. Our next battle will be back in the Western. And since there's only 2 battles left, if it is heads, those 2. If it's tails, those 2. It is tails. So G-Lam versus Buttman are up next. These two had pretty solid seasons. G-Lam 4th, Buttman 13th. Let's see how they do. Game 1, let's go. They crash on the landing, but G-Lam takes a 1-0 lead. Game 2. Wow! Buttman just denied him. We're all tied up at 1. Game 3, it's now best of 5. Kind of terrible jumps, but somehow Buttman takes a 2-1 lead. Game number 4, let's go. G-Lam takes that 1. We're all tied up at 2. It's a best of 3 now. Let's see it. Buttman will take the 3-2 lead, and he's 1 away from winning. Here we go, Buttman for the win. Or can G-Lam clutch it up? Ladies and gentlemen, with an insane extra roll there, it's over. Buttman wins it 4-2. Congratulations to Buttman, who will be facing off against GMC Van in the second round. Stay tuned for round 2. Where are we headed to next? It's tails again, and there's only 1 battle left in the Western. So BB3 versus Reisler is up next. The Central Division was really good this season, Reisler being 2nd, BB3 being 9th. This should be a good battle. Here we go. Game number 1. Let's go. Reisler takes a 1-0 lead. Game number 2. Let's go. And it is now 2-0 for Reisler. Game 3, BB3 has to get something going soon. He won't, and Reisler takes a 3-0 lead. Game number 4, can Reisler sweep him? Yes, he can, and GG's, Reisler wins it 4-0. Congratulations to Reisler, who will face off against Oyster in the second round. Alright, all of the battles in the Western Conference have been finished, so it's just these 3. I see tails. So Clone versus Jeep are up next. Fun fact, this is Clone's first ever playoff battle. And if we take a look at the stats here, the Metro by far was the worst division. Doesn't mean that they will do the worst though. Clone was 7th and Jeep was 15th. Let's go. Let's see how Clone will do in his first ever playoff jump. Jeep cooks up, so it is 1-0. Let's see how game 2 goes. Clone is there though, so it's all tied up at 1. Game number 3. Let's go. Close one, but Jeep will hold on for a 2-1 lead. Game number 4. Let's go. Clone locking in like crazy, and he ties it up at 2. Game number 5. Let's go. G bounces backwards. Terrible jump from Clone as well, but Clone will take the 3-2 lead. Here we go. Clone could win his first ever playoff CRJ playoff series. Let's see it. He will not though, and Jeep forces our first Game 7 of the video. First Game 7 on this YouTube channel. Let's see how they get on. And it's over. Clone wins his first CRJ series. Congratulations to Clone for winning his first playoff series. He will face off against Batman in the second round next video. We only have 2 battles left, and they are both from the Atlantic, which is the most interesting division based on stats in my opinion. But let's see who's going first. It is Tails. So OTS versus RobTop 2.0 are up next. This is OTS 11th place versus RobTop 2.0 17th place. Not a very good season, but there's still one car that did even worse. Let's see how they battle it out. Game 1, let's see it. Beautiful jump from both, but OTS will get the first point. Game 2, let's go. Terrible jump this time, but OTS takes a 2-0 lead. Game number 3, can RobTop 2.0 lock in? Yes, he can. He actually launches himself off of OTS 2-1. Game 4, let's go. What a battle, but OTS will take a 3-1 lead. Is this the end, or will RobTop somehow clutch up and force at least a Game 6? RobTop will. All right, Game 6, 3-2 for OTS. Can RobTop force a Game 7? He cannot, and it's over in just 6 games. GG's, OTS wins. Congratulations to OTS, who will face off against either Emergency or Silver 68, who we'll see in our next series. Because there is literally nobody else to choose from. Silver 68 versus Emergency is a very interesting battle. Because this is Emergency, who got first overall, 24 victories, 2 round wins, and just 8 losses. Where is Silver 68? 20th place. 14 victories, 18 losses, 10 more losses than Emergency. How? And with just 1 round win. 20th place, and he made the playoffs. I cannot believe this. This is going to be crazy. That's a 19 position difference. One of the biggest ever. All right, Silver 68 versus Emergency. Game number 1. I am quite excited to see how this series goes, with the highest qualification spot of the playoffs and the lowest. Let's go. And ladies and gentlemen, it is 1-0 for Silver 68. All right, very interesting start. Let's see how game number 2 goes. It's not even close for that one. But, hey, Silver 68 did beat him once, but it's all tied up at 1. All right, game number 3. Let's see it. That is very close. But if we look from above, we can see Emergency just has it by a little bit, but he does, so it's 2-1 for Emergency. All right, a big game 4 here. Let's see it. Another interesting jump, very close again, but we can obviously see Emergency has it 3-1 Emergency. Game 5, is this the end of Silver 68's run? At least he got 1. Unfortunately, there's not too much hope for him. So let's see how this plays out. Game 5, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, with that extra roll, it is over. GG's, Emergency wins in 5 games. Congrats to Emergency, who will be moving on to the next round to play OTS. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap it up for this round. Thank you so much for watching. We have 4 very epic battles. I am so hyped for every single one of them. We will, of course, be figuring out who's going to the semifinals in the next video, round 2. Please stay tuned to check it out. We'll see you guys all later. Don't forget to smash a like, smash subscribe, maybe even hit that notification bell. That was very epic. We'll see y'all later, and as always, peace.